Peace and love, love and light. I want to talk about the Zodiac and just give a quick update about what I've experienced in Virgo and what I'm experiencing now in Libra. In Virgo, one of the things that I noticed was that I was releasing a lot since Virgo is connected to the intestines. So I have to just reiterate that. I have to re, um, restate that that is connected to the intestine. So a lot of the time in Virgo, what I was doing was releasing. I was having a lot of um, periods where I would release, and it wasn't normal. It felt like it was a lot of kind of like back to back stuff, and it was a very good experience. But it's just something that I noticed, and I got a lot of I want to say information released from doing that. Like a lot of things, like I made a lot more sense after I was releasing so much that and that as much as I was, and I really understand why Virgos are typically, from my experience, very smart people because they get a lot of information brought on the planet at that time. Like that's just something that I experienced, and it's something that I noticed. Like I understood things more. And I was more sharp during the time of Virgo. I mean, I feel like I retained a lot of the information, but I feel like a lot of information came down on the planet at that time, and I really am grateful that I was in tune with the planet and what was going on with it um, at the time. But in this time in Libra, whereas there's a lot of balancing, and this is the time of harvest, something that I've noticed was that, well, is that I'm sleeping more. Like during the day, I find myself like wanting to nap and taking like full blown naps, or even going to sleep earlier, two than I was, previously. And it's something that I don't do. Like I don't take naps regularly. I may like lay down and like do something like while I'm on my phone, but I don't just lay down and take naps during the day because it's not something that I do. But that's something that I've noticed. Like I guess that's like me balancing out my shadow side, where I'm like taking like a lot more naps during the day where I would normally be up and like doing my regular whatever I would be doing for that day, and I'm finding myself up later at night and doing things that I wouldn't normally do during the day. So like it's like everything kind of flipped, but it's also like balancing out. Like even my dreams are a little bit more interesting, even though I still don't remember them full out. Like I still am getting dreams, and then like some of the parts that I do remember, I can understand them a little bit better and a little bit clearer because they're things that I'm experiencing during the day, or things that I'm kind of thinking about through during my waking hours, and it's just a lot more clear and a lot more understandable than it was previously. So that's just what I'm seeing so far. Like a lot of clarity as far as like shadow work and light work, and it's balancing out. Like everything is like kind of making sense and kind of like evening out. Like something I really want to say about the zodiac, and what I want to say in this update was that time really does heal all wounds. Something that I'm really understanding. Like, and I'm glad that I started to focus on the zodiac and its connection with the body, and it allowed me to get more in tune with the zodiac, and it allowed me to get more in tune with my body, and it helped me. It allowed me to understand like certain things that go on throughout the year that we don't necessarily pay attention to if you're not in tune with your body, if you're not in tune with the planet, if you're not in tune with the stars. Like all this stuff affects us on a very physical level, and we don't acknowledge it, or we're not aware of it. 444. And I'm glad that I've come into the understanding of it, because in the time of Virgo, like I was saying, like I was releasing a lot. In the time of Libra, I'm balancing out my shadow work and my light work. And in the time of Leo, I felt more enlightened. Like I was getting a lot of information then, but Virgo kind of like made it better. Like it kind of amplified it a little bit. And then in the time of Cancer, I was doing a lot of shadow work. Like it was based on shadow work. Like a lot of the things that I learned from my shadow were in the time of Cancer. Even though now I think that it will become more clear because um, I'm actually doing both like shadow work and light work because that's just what Libra represents. Like it represents the balancing of those two worlds, and those two worlds will gradually get thinner as time goes on. Like, and that's something that I've noticed. Like my shadow and my light side are becoming more balanced, but at the same time, it's kind of like a level of clarity that wasn't there before. Like I see things for what they are a little bit quicker than I was before, and I feel like I'm more on my toes because of it, and I'm very thankful for that. And it's just something that I've noticed, and it just ties into the idea that time really does heal our wounds. I never understood that saying until I got more connected with the Zodiac, and I understood that the Zodiac represented different parts of the body, and those different parts of the body are actually a great word is activated during specific times of the year. And with them being activated during specific times of the year, we actually can get healing from a time that we all experience. I mean, we may call it different things. Like some people don't acknowledge the zodiac, or they think it's not real, or it doesn't make sense, or it's not connected to us. But we have to understand that most months are named after what were considered gods, with the exception of July and August, which is named after Julius Caesar and Augustus Caesar, I believe. But other than that, they were named after gods. So with them being named after gods, they have certain significance that goes beyond just time, something that we call like a specific point in the year. They actually have a greater significance, and they actually affect us in ways that we need to acknowledge, we need to know, we need to realize, and we need to come to an understanding of that we haven't necessarily come to an understanding of. It's just like lost knowledge, like information that is there, but it's not known to the public because it's not taught in schools. It's not taught by, I guess, like older generations, because either they don't know or it wasn't passed down. But there's knowledge beyond what we're taught in schools and what we've been taught, even by certain teachers. Like certain teachers don't even teach this because either they don't know or it hasn't been passed down. But it's something that I've come to the understanding of. Like a lot of this stuff is not just there for no reason. A lot of it makes sense. Like even with the days of the week, like even the days of the week are named after the celestial bodies, and I can't think of every day. I probably could, but I can't off the top of my head. But even those play a significant role in our life, but we don't acknowledge them because of whatever reason. But we say these things every day, or we think of these things every day, almost by default. Like a lot of the stuff that is really important, we think of without even really having to think of it. It's like to the point where we ignore it, but we really shouldn't ignore it. We should pay attention, and we should appreciate it. We should love it. We should come to an understanding of it and give it its honor, and its respect, the respect that it deserves, because it's not just something that we are doing for no reason or saying for no reason. Like it has an importance. Like if it's something that everybody has to do or it's something that everybody has to acknowledge, then it has a greater importance than just I don't know what to compare it to. Just I guess the best way to say it is something that we would just ignore or with something that we don't appreciate. I think it's something that we should appreciate a little bit more than we have been. As far as my experience has been as far as my experience has been because I've never really met anybody who really paid attention to the days and really gave them the honor that they deserve, or the months and gave them the honor that they deserve. Except for like the only thing that I can say that people are really into is like the moons, and that's very important too. But even myself, 1111, I'm still trying to get into that, like to the point that I'm paying like way more attention to it than I was before. But I want to really get into like doing not just the rituals on the full moon and like the new moon, but really being connected to the moon, and then also being like connected to the sun. Like other than like sun gazing and like spending time in the sun, I want to do more than that. I want to see if I can connect with the sun in a different way. Um, but all these things have significance in our lives that goes beyond like, I have to be to work on this day or I have to do this on this day. There's greater significance in that. But even with that, like even the people that you interact with, those are like parts of like constellations. Those are part of astrological systems and signs. Those are 12. Those are just as important as looking at the sun or understanding the zodiac or whatever. Those things are just as important, but we have to make sure that we have to pay attention to the little things, the things that people would typically ignore as well, because those things play a very important part in the overall story. And that's just something that I've come to the understanding of. Um, I'm gonna post more on this because I can feel like a lot more information coming through, but it's not as clear as I want it to be yet. It's like a very interesting feeling that I'm getting, but I can't really put it into words yet. And you probably can tell like during this video I can't really put it into words what I'm trying to say like fully, but I can kind of feel that it's gonna be way more in depth the next time I guess like do an update or um, talk about this particular topic, which is like the zodiac and how time heals all wounds and how we should be more connected with the months and the days of the week and even the moon and the sun. But other than that, I want to say that I love you and I hope that you have a great day.